Okay, we can start the session. So, before we begin, like always, let's pay our gratitude. So, I like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the universe, to all the enlightened masters who have guided humanity, to Brahmashri Pitama Patriji for bringing the wisdom of meditation into our lives, to the PSSM Australia team for this opportunity, and to Anita Moorjani for courageously sharing her life journey through dying to be me. I also thank each one of you for being here with an open heart. May this discussion inspire us to live with more love and less fear. I'm also grateful for the opportunity to offer this through Inner Awakening with Shivani in collaboration with PSSM Australia. And I humbly request everyone to please put on your videos. This helps me to connect with you better and present better. So if you can please put on your videos, that will be great. And anyone would like to summarize the last 2 days quickly? Can I please have the videos on? Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Bhakti. Thank you, Shweta. So anyone would like to summarize? No? So I'll start then. So yesterday, and we spoke about how fear does not always enter into our lives through one major event. Sometimes it is planted quietly through small experiences, beliefs, expectations, and words that we absorb as children. So, today in this chapter, we will see how different religions and different paths hindered Anita's desire to be accepted, included, and loved, and the struggle of belongingness began. Can I have the slide, please, Chandra? So, many religion, many paths. So it is about different tradition, different answers, and one search for the truth from Anita. Anita moves between Hindu and Catholic worlds, trying to understand which path is right. So Anita's spiritual confusion began at a very young age. At home, she was raised as a Hindu. Her family prayed, meditated, visited temples, and followed Indian traditions. But her early education began in Catholic school run by nuns. So at only 7 years old, Anita was already moving between two very different religious worlds and already started to learn the impact of cultural and religious differences. So at home, she heard about Hindu scriptures, karma, and reincarnation. At school, she sang Christian hymns, attended Bible classes, and learned about heaven. For an adult, this might sound like a wonderful multicultural education, but for a 7-year-old child, it created one very serious question: which religion is actually right? So, on her first day at Catholic school, Anita proudly wore her white uniform with navy blue blaze. Sorry, Chandra, you didn't put the next slide. So, on her first day at Catholic school, Anita proudly wore her white uniform and navy blue blazer. So, when she saw all other children dressed exactly like her, she felt an immediate sense of belonging. So, for perhaps the first time, she did not look different from anyone else. The uniform created equality, at least on the outside. So, I want to ask you, audience, have you ever noticed how strongly we sometimes change ourselves, our clothes, our behavior, or even our opinions just to feel that we belong? Have you ever done that? Yes or no? Yes, I had. I had changed things to belong to the place, to the environment. You know what? A sense of belonging is considered a fundamental human psychological need. So we all want to feel accepted and to know that there is a place where we can simply be ourselves. So that is why Anita's experience is significant. When she repeatedly felt that she did not belong at school, culturally, or socially, it could create a strong sense of rejection and insecurity. So, what I have learned from Anita's story and what resonated with me personally is I felt, when I got diagnosed with cancer, all the spiritual masters said that it is a deep grief. And I said, from where? My childhood, if I look back, I could not find anything wrong with my childhood. I had my parents, I felt my parents are really good. I was never restricted like any other girl, that you're not allowed to go out. I had a freedom to do anything. My parents were very socially active. It's not that I was confined to the house. I went to the best schools in my area. So when I look back, and I felt it doesn't make sense to me where the grief is and why I would get cancer if that's the reason. But then after listening to or reading to Anita's story, I felt that even though the childhood looked vibrant from outside, she had a very colorful childhood, Hong Kong, British school, India, and everything. But then how the things were creeping inside her. And today we are going to learn a very important lesson of belongingness. How, these small little things, when we dig deeper, comes out. So, Anita also loved singing, as I said, the hymns each morning. Initially, there was no conflict. She simply enjoyed the music and the atmosphere. But one day, after about a month going to the school, she had a conversation with her classmate, Joseph. He asked Anita, how come your family doesn't go to church on Sundays? Because we aren't Catholic. We are Hindu and we go to the temple on Monday evenings, I said. You need to tell your parents to take you to the church to pray to God every Sunday. Otherwise, you won't get to heaven when you die, Joseph told me. Are you sure about that? I asked, because if it were true, I'm sure my parents would know. Of course, I'm sure. Just ask any of the others in school. Or even better, ask Sister Mary at our next Bible study class. She knows the truth for sure. She knows what God really wants. He persisted. I liked Joseph. He seemed to care and really wanted me to go to heaven. So here, Joseph was not intentionally trying to frighten her. He is a little boy as well. In his own way, he probably thought he was helping her. But his words planted a deep fear in Anita's mind, and she began to wonder, what if he is right? Anita decided to ask Sister Mary, a nun and a teacher, would surely know the correct answer, right? Unfortunately, Sister Mary confirmed what Joseph had said. She told Anita that she needed to attend church and understand the Bible in order to receive God's favor. Anita then went home and asked her mother, Mama, my friends and the sisters at my school say that I have to go to church on Sundays and I have to study the Bible if I want to go to heaven when I die. No, beta, my mother said. You don't have to worry about that. Just tell everyone at school that we are Hindus. And when you're a little older, you'll study our scriptures, the Vedas. People from different places have different faiths. You'll come to learn that after we die, we are reincarnated into other circumstances. I don't think the kids in my school are going to buy that. I said sullenly. Sullenly means with anger and a bad temper. Um, and I'm scared. What if they are right? They can't all be wrong. How can the sisters be wrong? My mother pulled me close and said, "Don't be scared, beta. No one really knows the truth, not even Sister Mary. Religion is just a path for finding truth. Religion is not truth. It is just a path, and different people follow different paths." So, this was a profound and open minded response. But although her mother's explanation comforted her temporarily, Anita remained confused. Her classmates said one thing, the nun said another, her parents taught something completely different, and each person appeared completely certain. For a young child, 7 years old, it was almost as though several adults were holding different maps, and each one was saying, "Mine is the only road to God." So here Anita is asking, what is the difference between saying my path is true and saying only my path is true? So this is something we need to reflect on. Provided the nun at the school said the same thing, that all paths lead to God, she would have less confused, isn't it? Yes or no? Right? So no wonder Anita felt lost before the spiritual journey had even properly begun. Anita then became afraid that because she had not been baptized, God might come for her while she was sleeping and prevent her from reaching heaven. She said, "I wanted Sister Mary to tell me that I could still go to heaven even though I was Hindu, but she wouldn't give me the assurance I was looking for." Can you see in this line how, her little mind, her little heart is so dependent on her teacher to tell her that yes, she's so confused in her mind and she really wanted someone to say one thing so that she can, be at peace and follow that thing. So, from what I had learned at school, I understood the grim fate that awaited those who didn't make it. What if God decides to come for me while I'm sleeping? She's so scared. She's thinking that when she's sleeping, the God will come for her. Sister Mary said that He's everywhere and knows everything. That means He knows I haven't been baptized. So I lay awake at night, not daring to sleep in case God took that opportunity to show me the fate that awaited those who weren't in this favor. So, as a children, we often take the words of teachers and other authority figures very seriously, don't we? Whatever has teachers said is right. We sometimes, as parents, also scold our children if you're naughty or if you don't do what we are saying, we are going to tell the teachers, don't we? Have you ever told your kids that we are going to tell your teacher? Yes. So children may not yet have the maturity to question what they are told. So the words of some authoritative people in their lives can become their beliefs very quickly. In Anita's case, she was looking to Sister Mary for reassurance, but instead the fear became even stronger. So this also tells that we need to be very, very careful what we are telling to our children. And this is another example of how belief can planted in childhood, not necessarily through major events, but through a few words spoken by someone we trust. Right? Chandra, next slide, please. So now Anita was so scared that she started lying awake at night, too frightened to sleep. So just imagine most children resist bedtime because they want to keep playing. Anita resisted bedtime because she was worried about the afterlife. She's already in that path of, karma, afterlife, reincarnation, and things like. And she's only 7 years old at this time. So her parents became increasingly concerned about her anxiety and sleeplessness. When they realized that the fear was not disappearing, they moved her to a secular British school called Island School. They hoped that changing schools would solve the problem. But did it actually? Let's find out. So now Anita is in Island School. Island School was modern, beautiful, and well equipped with laboratories, swimming pool, gymnasiums, and even an experimental zoo. From the outside, it appeared to be a perfect school. However, most of Anita's classmates were white British children. Anita was one of the few Indian students. Because of her darker skin and thick, wavy hair, she was frequently singled out, excluded, and bullied. She was even called racist names, chosen last for team activities, and sometimes had her belongings taken. She felt lonely, humiliated, and rejected. She held back her tears in public and cried into her pillow when she started to say home in her bedroom at home. So this has become worse than the previous school. But she did not tell her parents. And why? Any guesses why? You can use the chat. Why she did not tell her parents that she's so in a bad condition or what is happening at school? Yes, Rashmi.
Was she scared?
Yes, scared. And
She where will she study there?
yes, she was scared, but also remember in her first in the first chapter we read that her parents didn't want
The
she
girl
had
child.
heard a conversation about a girl or a boy child, and so
Ah,
she wanted to be a perfect, you know she never wanted to be a trouble for her parents.
but correct.
Yes. So she did not tell because her parents had already changed her school once. She feared that if we admitted she was unhappy again, she would disappoint or burden them. So this is the weight she was carrying on her shoulders. So she
One thing
pretended,
okay, please.
so she pretended that everything was fine. And
Mm,
this reveals an important pattern developing in Anita. She was experiencing pain internally while
mm,
presenting a completely different image externally.
mm.
So, my question to you is, how often do we say, I'm fine? Not because we are actually fine, but because we do not want to trouble anyone.
Yes,
Yes?
very true. Yes,
We do
yes,
that?
yes.
Yes.
I do that.
I do that a lot. I
Mm.
sometimes get very scared, but I don't say it to anyone, not even my husband, just
Yes,
because I do not want to trouble or, create atmosphere of fear at home or, and then I deal with my emotions myself.
yes.
So this is, I think, most of us and most of the Indian
Indians, yes.
are taught, just be good. Yeah.
One thing I want to say, like Anita was such an aware child from such a beginning.
Yes, she
She
was.
was an old soul.
Yes, she was.
Otherwise, children listen to
Yeah,
things and they tend to forget.
that's
But
right.
she, yeah,
She was very
but she was
sensitive.
pondering. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was old school.
yes. So then an orange soda incident happened. So one particular incident pushed Anita beyond her limit. So she was sitting quietly in the school canteen, eating her lunch, when a boy named Billy deliberately emptied the remains of his food tray into her meal. The children around them laughed. For Anita, it felt as though the entire room was laughing at her. Anita is saying, I felt a huge rage rise up within me. I'd reached the point where I had enough. I was sick of being called Sambo, being the last to be chosen for teams, being picked on, and having my belongings taken from me. I just couldn't take it anymore. Years of reflection, name calling, exclusion, and humiliation rose within her all at once. She stood up, picked up her cup of orange soda, looked directly at Billy, and poured it over his head. Suddenly, the whole room was laughing again. Luckily, now they were laughing at Billy. So, for one brief moment, the orange soda achieved what years of polite behavior had not. However, Anita did not feel victorious. Unfortunately, she saw the anger in Billy's face, became frightened, and ran into the girls' bathroom. She locked herself inside a cubicle and cried. Her reaction disturbed her because it was completely out of character. More than anything, she wanted to accept it and like. Have you noticed in yourself when you act out of character, do you cry? Yeah, happened. I few times cried on my children and then I will cry. You know, why did I do that? I think there is a point in mother's life, I'm sure, that we shout and then we cry that we did that, right? Because this is not us. This is out of character. And this is same happened with Anita. So she could not change her skin color, her race, her background, and this made her feel helpless. Sitting alone in the bathroom, she asked, why am I always different wherever I go? Where do I belong? Why don't I feel like I belong anywhere? I desperately wanted to know as I let out deep sobs, crouched inside the small cubicle. These questions would continue to shape her life. Next slide, please, Chandra. So, thankfully, as I got older, now she is older, and entered into my teen years, the bullying eventually subsidized, says Anita. But another conflict emerged. Her British classmates were becoming more independent. They attended youth dances, social events, and weekend gatherings. Anita's parents, however, become stricter, particularly regarding socializing with boys. Typical Indian parents. In her traditional culture, going out with boys was discouraged. So once again, Anita felt excluded and never felt belong. See how the theme of belongingness in this chapter is coming again and again. She is just purely talking about that wherever she went to, whichever place, whichever school, whichever culture, whichever religion, she never felt that she fits in there or she is belonged or she is accepted. So at school, she wanted to be like her British friends. At home, she was expected to behave like a traditional Indian daughter. She began wishing that she were not Indian. She actually thought once that why God has made me Indian. I wish I wasn't Indian. So her parents encouraged her to attend Vedanta classes where she studied Hindu scriptures and other Indian children. So when I was reading this, that her parents encouraged or forced her to go to Vedanta classes, which is Vedas, I felt even here in Australia, many of us as parents want our children to stay connected to Hindi or your language or Indian tradition and our cultural values. And I can relate completely to myself. Don't we want, our kids to learn our language? Yeah, when my first son was born, what was happening is he was going to childcare, speaking English, At home, I was talking in Hindi and my husband was talking in Punjabi. So he was learning three languages. And then I wanted him to speak in Hindi. And I think for many years, to the point that I got worried, he's not talking. And then I, spoke to childcare and, what's happening. And I was concerned. And they said, speak one language, don't confuse him. And as soon as I switch on English only, he picked up. He started talking. So this is I could relate myself, and I know some parents who even force children to recite bhajan and mantras here. So, but perhaps the question is at what cost? At what cost we want our children to learn, Veds or our scriptures or whatever it is. So, are we helping them stay connected to their roots or sometimes unintentionally asking them to suppress who they are in order to meet our expectations? I've few months back I met someone. They started reading Bhagavad Gita, and they said that they are actually forcing their children to read Bhagavad Gita. So it is good that they are connected to roots, but then I guess sometimes it doesn't solve the purpose. The question we should be asking is, how do we preserve their roots without making those roots become restrictions? I think that is the thought process we should have when we are asking our children, to learn our culture. Yes, Shweta.
My question is like, I think it's not about their roots. It's like it was our roots, and we really wanted them to learn that.
Yes, this
Because
is our expectations. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yes, this
yeah,
is this is us. It is
yeah,
not them. If
and I think that
have to think,
confuses them more because they
yes.
don't know what to follow and what not to.
Yes, you're absolutely, that's what I'm saying. So we want to make, things easier for them and do not make them restriction. Yes, make them aware of a culture. And if they feel pulled, they will definitely come themselves. But if we force them, I think that is not right, right? So so this is the conversation that now in Anita's word, when her parents asked her to go to Vedanta classes, I don't want to go to Vedanta class. I proclaimed to my mother one Saturday when I was about 13. So it is just teenage that they are forcing her to, go to the Vedas class. Vedanta is the study of Hindu scriptures, and I used to attend weekly lessons where I met other Indian children. Then things will be more difficult for you as you grow up, particularly when you get married. You need to know what it is mean to be Hindu. My mother told me as she fussed with my hair. But I don't want to be more Indian. I want to be more like my classmates. I thought aloud. I told her, but I want to go out with my other friends, my friends from school. They don't have to attend Vedanta class. Your father and I want you to attend, and that is all there is to it, she said. I still wasn't convinced that I wanted to be a Hindu, but as a good Indian girl, I obeyed my parents. So this is again, she obeyed, just want to be a good girl. She wanted to spend time with her school friends rather than attend another cultural religious classes. But being what she called a good Indian girl, she obeyed. Interestingly, she became popular in her Vedanta classes. She enjoyed discussing spiritual ideas, asking questions, and debating subjects such as karma, destiny, free will, and the Bhagavad Gita. So she is only a teenager here. With her Indian friends, she felt confident and accepted. At school, she felt awkward and rejected. It was though she was living two completely separate lives. She wondered, why can't my school friends see in me what my Indian friends see? Now the another conflict started that I am good. Somewhere I'm good, somewhere I'm accepted. So if I'm good in one culture, why I'm not good in another culture? Why cannot they accept me the way I am? So another conflict began in her mind. So, questions to you. Have you ever felt that you are the version of yourself with one group and you are a different version of yourself with another group? Does it happen?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Anyone else? Chats, if you can use chats, or do we play different roles with different groups? And why do we do that? We do that to be belonged again. We want
Belonged.
to be accepted. We want to be loved. We want to be, merge, be part,
Goody goody.
goody goody, yes. I tell you one example. I'm a very social person. I had two, three kitties here as well in Australia, and it was
Mhm.
a girls group. And in that one girl group, there are one or two girls who are always in selfies and photographs, and they're go here, click photo, they go here, click photo. What I noticed is when she used to come, she will pull all the crowds, and for what? Only just for clicking photos. And then if I didn't go, I felt missed out. I'm not in the pictures. I will miss out the reels later. And just for that reason, I used to go and get the photographs clicked as well. So this is, Anita's story reminding me how we, in
Yes.
some areas of our life, we just do anything to be belonged.
Yes.
So, as Anita grew older now, she developed a genuine interest in the intellectual and spiritual teachings of Hinduism. She enjoyed meditation, prayer, the Bhagavad Gita, and discussions about consciousness. She's only 13. However, she also began questioning culture practices that appeared unfair, particularly the suppression of women, forced marriages, the expectation that women should be subservient to men. She recognized an important distinction. Some practices presented as religious were actually cultural traditions and were not necessarily supported by the scriptures themselves. This demonstrates that Anita was not simply rejecting spirituality, she was trying to separate spiritual path, spiritual truth from social conditioning. She wanted to understand what is genuinely spiritual, what has been created by culture, what comes from love, and what comes from fear, control, and social expectation. So, like she wanted to understand at the age of 13, I guess we all need to start, bring this question in our lives. What is spiritual? What is created by culture? What are inherited beliefs about spirituality? What is our understanding of spirituality? What beliefs do we need to carry? Are we following spirituality only because of fear, or we actually feel loved and we actually want to do the good thing or the right thing? So, with this, we finish second chapter. And now, so what do you think is the deeper meaning of this chapter?
Like we get carried away by things, people,
Yes,
and what we truly desire from within. We at times tend to subdue it,
yes,
and that uh, comes out as a volcanic eruption in later life.
yes. And we
It might be.
subsidize because of the fear.
Yes.
Yes. And that is the one thing this book is about, the fear. So,
Absolutely.
the Anita strongly suggests that from now onwards that you are in touch with this book, whatever action you are taking, just this is only one question that you need to always ask. Are you doing it out of love
or
or are
fear.
you doing it out of fear? And that will take you to, towards a self-love. And I sometimes used to wonder when I came to spirituality, self-love. What is self-love? And I used to think, oh, I go to kitty, no one stops me. I look after my hair, I look after my skin, I do everything. What is self-love? I'm already doing it. Why people are saying, go in self-love, self-love. When I
Mhm.
actually understand the self-love is accepting yourself,
Yes.
coming to love yourself, even when you are wrong, even when you have done something wrong. Like you are kind to someone else, you need to be kind to yourself. It's okay. We are not perfect and we do not strive to be perfect. We are humans. If humans are meant to be perfect, the God would have made them all perfect, isn't it? So we all carry our essence. So, according to me, the deeper essence of this chapter is it's not only which religion is right, it is who do I need to become in order to be accepted, loved, safe, and worthy. So, it was about Anita's lifelong search for belonging, and we need to see where we can love and accept ourselves more. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing more I got from this is it's not about forgiving others, it's about forgiving your own self and accepting you as you are.
Yes. Yes.
And same way it applies on others also. But still, first is you, and then others are.
Yeah. So from today, simply
Yeah.
notice the different roles you play with family, friends, colleagues,
Yeah.
spiritual groups, and ask yourself, in which spaces do I feel most free to be true to myself?
See, one thing I want to thank you is like I saw this book reading, but I thought this is just for you people out there. And I said, "Ki, even I would like to join it. And somehow you invited all other people also into it.
Yes.
So maybe when disciple is ready, guru pulls in. Like in this, you are my guru.
No, no, no. It's not about me being your guru. I guess your soul is your guru. And I strongly believe whatever wisdom your soul need in that moment, the book will automatically come to you. So this book has come to me when I actually really needed it. As I said in my first day, that the theme, the emotion I was going through was fear, and this book is about fear. So universe has sent it. So and again, I have always felt whenever I needed the wisdom strongly, the book automatically comes to me somehow. So there is something in this book. If you're all joining, it's your soul calling, and I'm sure there is something in this book that is meant for you and that will resonate with you, and it
Yes.
will bring a shift in you.
या कई बार ऐसा होता है ना लाइक अच्छा बनने के लिए यू कर्व योरसेल्फ.
Yes, yes. कई बार नहीं, बहुत बार होता है. We always do that.
Yeah.
Need to, change it.
Mhm. Mhm.
We are open for
Thank
questions. If anyone have any questions or want to share your thoughts, your understanding, your experience, anything. No? A very, very humble request. If there are no questions, I just want to say service is not only when you're doing something or teaching or taking any class or anything. Service is also when you're motivating someone to
Yes.
come, to a spiritual path and read something or listen to something. So if you're really connected with the book, if you're
Yes.
really connected with the reading, I would really appreciate if you can please post in the group your feedback or your understanding, and perhaps it can motivate someone to come and join this book, and the wisdom of this book may help to overcome their fear. So it's very, very humble request to please share if that's okay with you in the group,
Yes.
to inspire others. So in a way, it's a service.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes,
Definitely.
Shweta.
Yeah, Shivani, I have a question. So, accepting yourself, it means like, okay, I am like this only, and I'm comfortable in this way, right? So sometimes I feel that then in few things, like I will not even go out of my comfort zone to experience something new. Let's say if I really want to do some ride or something, right? And I have a fear of going on a roller coaster, let's say, for an example, right?
Yeah,
So if I will just accept myself, though I am like this only, I don't want to go out of my comfort zone, then I
yeah,
will not even try that.
yeah,
I wouldn't even want to do go, all right.
yeah,
And that way I felt that that fear, it might go in my kids also, because if I'm not going, if I'm not doing that, then they are, I am just a role model for them right now.
yeah, yeah,
Whatever I will do, whatever they will see, they will just become that. So I did this last time, like when we traveled, and I'm actually very scared of roller coasters. So I just went because she should not have that fear of being on a ride.
yeah,
And even though I was feeling fear, like afraid from inside, but I didn't show it on my face.
yeah,
So I think accepting yourself plus going out of the comfort zone, I think that's really a progress,
yeah,
as per me.
yeah. So again, if you are fearful about something, that's okay. You don't
Yeah.
need to feel bad about it. If you are
Yeah.
aware that this is my fear, that's perfectly fine. But if you're
Hmm.
feeling guilty or bad, that's not right. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
no,
one thing.
it's not
And
about the
then,
guilt of that.
yes.
Yeah.
And then if you went out of your comfort zone for your children, that's,
Yeah.
wonderful that you
Yeah.
you went. And then you would have realized there was no reason to be fearful, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
going a little bit out of our comfort zone
Right.
is okay as well. So if
Yeah.
again, whatever is in your capacity, if
Yeah.
you
Of course.
sometimes you think that you cannot go, so you don't have to do for, your kids as well, in the sense the kids have their own journey, have their own lessons,
Mm.
have their own fear, have their own, plus and negative points. So you cannot always put yourself on that mode just because of
Mm.
kids. If you really want to
Mm.
try that and you're comfortable, that's fine.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
again your capability, how much you can pull yourself,
Right.
stretch
Right.
yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Rashmi.
Hi, Shivani.
Hi, Rashmi.
Hi. I'm really thankful that I actually joined today. I had not been on this platform for a while now. I
I
was
was missing
away.
you. Yes.
Today, I didn't even know this session was happening. I
Okay.
just wanted to do meditation. So I just popped in and I saw this. And this is so much aligned with whatever happening with me right now. The fear, you're talking about fear, it is so wonderful. So, like you told about Anita, in childhood there was some kind of a fear which was like directly or indirectly rooted in her.
Yes.
Similarly with me, same thing happened. Even for till date, I'm not got out of that fear.
Yes.
So this is like back home, because I was the only child. They were very scared of me trying like
Mm.
driving two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So they
Yep.
never let me drive, and even till date, I still have that fear, and I'm not able to drive.
Yes.
So that when you were talking about it, I thought, oh, perfect. This is the perfect book for me. I
Yes.
should really listen to this. So is this kind of going to go as how Anita kind of got over her fear and to do the
You
right
missed the first,
choices?
yeah, no. You missed the first
I
part.
missed you.
Book, yes. The book is about near-death experience. She had cancer, and she thinks that because the root cause of cancer is fear as well, or for any illness, it is a fear. And
Mm,
then it's because of the fear, we carry so much negative energy, and that negative energy, instead of going out, is directed towards us, and
yeah.
hence we start to get the illness. So
Yeah.
this book is about um, she has mentioned it is in three parts. First part is that she's telling about her childhood, her journey, how she got to cancer, and then she had a near death experience, what had happened in that near death experience, and then after near death experience, what she understood of because she, according to her, in near death experience, she realized what had happened to her, why
Mm.
this happened to her. And then she's trying, this is what she's trying to tell is how you can come in your magnificence, like how can you be out of fear.
Yeah.
And we all carry fear. For example, I have fear of dogs, and I've given this to my children. I feel it's in them as well.
Yeah.
So this is a journey.
Yeah.
Again, it is a start of journey to track down each fear and just try to be, over it.
Yeah. So is this like is this the first book series happening, or is there any book previously been read? Like you're, I know that there
Last year
was
I did
talks
You
about
Can Heal Your.
each master can read the book. So
Yes.
is this the first one happening?
Yeah, yeah. At the moment, yes. Last year
Yes.
we did You Can Heal Your Life.
Okay. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Happy to really be in this session then. So is it like every single day or three
Every
days?
day of the weekday.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Shivani.
Thank you for joining. Okay. Anyone else for any questions or thoughts? Perfect. We are ready for meditation then.